What's up, millionaires? It's your boy Millionaire E coming at you with a movie review. Now, the movie we're going to be talking about today is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, if y'all haven't seen the movie yet, spoiler alert, I'm going to be doing some spoilers. Not some major spoilers, but I'm going to be spoiling it a little bit. So, tread lightly. Also, before I get started, I did not watch the two first movies. So I came in this movie kind of blind. Now, I do remember in high school, I believe, because the first one came out in 2016. I remember that time where literally, the ugly Sonic phase. Everybody knows ugly Sonic, unless you're born a little earlier. But where basically they sent the trailer out and they had Sonic, and Sonic was ugly as heck. Like he was branded as ugly Sonic. So of course everyone was like, ew, this is disgusting. And they took him out and they changed it. So I didn't see the first one or the second one just because I didn't know if I just didn't want to. I don't know if it was because I just didn't want to see the movies, or it was more of just the live action whole thing with Disney especially. So I was like, I don't know. But as I started seeing like the Sonic 3 movie coming out and seeing the action that happened in it, I was like, ooh, you know what? I really actually want to see it. And as far as to say with Sonic, I do like Sonic as a character, and I like some of his genre. Like I have some of the comics, Archie comics, but then I also have I have Sonic Mania, which was a really fun game, and then Sonic Frontiers, which was also fun, becoming Super Sonic and fighting. And then as a child, I actually had like the Sonic Rush game, which that game was like really old. It's like basically you played as either Sonic or Blaze, the cat, which is cool. So it's like I know a little bit about Sonic, but I don't know a lot. So in getting into this movie, I saw this, I kept on seeing the trailers everywhere, and I saw it on Reddit. I saw this funny scene in the trailer, and I was like, you know what? I really want to see that movie. So I texted one of my friends, said, hey, I'm going to go and see this movie. And he was like, you want to come? He was like, yeah, sure. So we went to the movies, saw it, and gosh, I got to tell you, it was amazing. So amazing that I was like, you know what? When this thing comes out on DVD, I want to buy it. Because I have a DVD collection, and I'm like, I really want it. If I get to a DVD section, or if it gets to like where I want to keep it because I want to watch it again, that's when it's good for me. So kind of going over some of the stuff that was good. So, it was a funny movie, especially with, since you got Jim Carrey as Dr. Ivo Robotnik and Gerald Robotnik. So it was basically, you had that Jim Carrey spin on it. And then, man, like, it was hilarious, all the scenes that he was in or how he was doing stuff. Like one time, I think in the movie, he was basically using his belly as like a bongo, which is funny. And then, like, as soon as Gerald came on there, they were just so funny. And I don't know if, like, the company that made this movie did this on purpose, but there was a scene where they were, like, having, like, this kind of cherishing the moment together of the time that they lost. And Ivo Robotnik's, like, this kid, and he sees Santa Claus, which is Gerald Robotnik. And what I think is funny about that is because it's, like, it's reminiscent of The Grinch That Stole Christmas, which is another Jim Carrey movie that, Jim Carrey was the Grinch. Now, as far as like the history of Shadow, I know a little bit about it, and I know how he kind of was friends with this girl and she died, but I didn't know a lot about it. And I will say, so, because I think this is based because they had like Easter eggs that were based off of a certain game that I have never played. I've heard of it, but I've never played it. And I will say, what was really cool was Shadow. I know Shadow has always been strong, like in the Sonic series, but Shadow was not playing in this movie. He was not playing in this movie. Like, this man, like, I know y'all seen the trailer before, but this man, like, when he fought Knuckles, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all, like, you're WWE fans, correct me if I'm wrong, this man literally was using WWE moves on all of the Sonic team. Like, because the move he used on Knuckles, he kicked this man up in the air, teleported, put his hand on top of his chest, and then pushed him. I think it was either pushed him down into the ground or he was kicking him, and then he got his gun and on the motorcycle and started, like, man, he wasn't playing. And then, of course, spoiler, somebody got turned into a super form, and that was like the fight scenes, they were good. And also, another thing I didn't tell you about the funny funny aspects of it, like especially where they were trying to sneak, like Gerald and Ivo were trying to sneak into like this base to get this code, and they had these suits on that basically made them, they couldn't get hurt, so they go into this laser maze. What's really funny is it got me into really listening into this song, because it's like the song has like such a good beat to it. It's called Galvanize. But what's funny is Dr. Robotnik and Ivo, or Ivo Robotnik and Gerald Robotnik, are like, yo, we can't get hurt, so let's dance during the whole laser maze. So they started doing this dance while Galvanize is being played. It's so hilarious, because like you have these two middle-aged men just dancing during these lasers. One's picking them up, shining, reflecting the lasers. So it was a really funny movie. And I do like the Easter eggs that they had in there. And it got me thinking, because they made a reference, they were like, hey, Tails looks like Detective Pikachu. And he's like, yeah, you do look like a Pokemon. So it's like, now that I really think about it, I'm like, it'd be really cool, although I don't know how they would do it, is if they made a Smash Bros movie. Because, they start putting these characters, because if the characters start kind of connecting, their universes start connecting. So that would be cool. Now, I will say, one last thing, another thing is, what was really cool is in the movie, I'm not going to spoil it for y'all, but I will tell y'all need to watch the post-credits. Because when we were watching the post-credits, I kid you not, everyone was roaring with excitement. Because there was a certain somebody, there was, two certain somebodies who appeared on screen that everyone was like, oh my God. I'd say I wouldn't like put it all the way to that, but it was almost like, how, you remember when you're watching Endgame and then, Captain America, he picks up Thor's hammer and everyone is like, oh my God, ah. It was like that in there. Everybody was going wild. And I was like, yep, I definitely got to see the next movie coming out. So yeah, it's a really good movie. I'm probably going to go watch like the first and the second to kind of get the gist of it. But yeah, check it out. If you've seen it, tell me what you thought about it. And if you haven't seen it, check it out. And remember, like the video, share it with your fam. If you subscribe, click that bell icon to be notified for more videos. And see you in the next video, y'all. Bye, y'all. Have a blessed day, millionaires. And Merry Christmas, y'all. Bye.